Hello students, today we will discuss about array of structures and passing array to functions. In the last class we have already discussed what is structures, what is unions and what is the difference between structure and union. I am Paritha Jain from Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So the content includes introduction to array of structures and how to pass arrays to functions. Right? We have already seen what is structure. So why we need array of structures? So one can use array of structures when you want to store information of more than one person. For example, in an organization has a number of employees. So defining separate structure for every employee is not a viable solution. So the solution is to give a common structure definition for all the employees. Another example is a class where there are number of students. So we need to store the information of all the students. In the previous class, we have defined how to define a structure for a particular employee. But if we want to store an information about number of employees or number of students, how we can do that? So for that, we have to define a array of structures. So an array of structure is declared in the same way as we declare an array of a built-in data type. So the syntax is same that as we have seen in the last lecture, struct and the identity and the elements that I want to store. Now this is an example of a student. If I want to store a roll number, name, course and fees, so I have to define different data types with different elements. Right now here I am taking a name and a course, both are of 20 bytes. Right now let's see an example for this, how we read and display. First, how to call. So for a particular structure we have to define a variable, we know that. So similarly in this example the data types are int, char for name and char for course, then float. Right, I am calling it using a variable which is stud, stud, and within this stud I have defined an array which is of 30. Right now within this 30 I can store the information of 30 students or less than 30 students, that depend on me. Right, so if you are calling it using a variable, you have to define an array with that variable that you have used for your structure. Right, now let's see an example for the whole program for reading and displaying the information of a particular student for a number of students. So I have taken elements as roll number, name, fees and date of birth. Now again I am calling it using a variable stored, and I have taken a array of size 50. So first I have to identify how many number of students I want to enter into this particular structure, the information, that is enter the number of students. For this I have taken a variable n and I am reading it through user. Right now as I want to store the information of n students, I have to use a loop for this. Right, so again I have taken a variable I which is for the loop. So I am starting it with the index 0, I is equal to 0, less than n number of students are there, and plus plus. Right, so within we all know how array is defined in the memory. Right, so for the reading purpose I am again using a dot operator, but here I have to use a ith index for which student I am storing the information. As it is starting from 0, so that means the first student information get read. Right, stud I dot roll number. Now similarly dot name, dot fees and dot dob for particular ith student. So whenever this particular loops gets over, it will be the ith value will be incremented, and then for the next student you can read the information for the roll number, name, fees and date of birth. Similarly for displaying the information, again I have to use a loop. The same loop will be defined here, and now I have to print only the details of the student. For printing again the ith value is very important. How to define the ith value for which particular student. So for first student it will print the roll number, name, fees and date of birth. right? So if you want to define array of structures, you have to use the loop for that. Okay, so this is a program to define array of structures where we are defining, where we are storing, reading and displaying the information of 50 students. I can say the maximum we can store 50 students information, we can read the information and we can display the information. All right, next is how to pass arrays to function, right? So like variables of other data types, one can also pass an array to a function. One can either pass individual elements of the array. The individual elements of an array can be passes to a function by passing either their addresses or their data values. So if I am talking about the addresses, that means a call by reference. You have already studied what is call by value and call by reference, right? So similarly we can define we can pass the address if I want to pass an individual element of the array, or I can pass a data value. Another way is when one can pass the entire array, right, in the function. So when an entire array is to be passed to the called function, the calling function just needs to pass the name of the array. Okay, so we have to only pass the name of the array to pass the entire array. Let's see an example for this. It will be more clear. So a program to read and print an array of n numbers. So I have taken two functions, one is for reading the array and one is for displaying the array. This is the function prototype, right? Then within the main function, enter the first, you have to enter the size of the array. The maximum size that I have taken is 10, right? And is a variable which is used to define the size of the array, whatever you want to enter. Then for reading and for displaying, there are two functions, read array and display array. So within the read array, I am just passing the entire array, right? So my entire array is num, right? So I am passing an entire array which is num, and with this array I am also passing a variable which is n, right? Because how much numbers are there, what is the size of the array, we must know that to read and to display the elements of the array, right? Now whenever this read array num n is called, right, so the execution will come here. So within the read array we have passed the entire array and a variable which is n, that is the size of the array. So enter the elements of the array, we have to read it, that means we have to enter the elements. Again we have to use a loop because there are a number of elements that you want to read, and within this loop we just define a scanf statement, all right, with the ith index. Similarly, if I want to display the array elements, I again pass the whole array in this particular function called function, and again I am using a loop to print the elements of the array using the ith index, right? So this is how we can pass an array to a function. Either you can pass it through the address, or you can pass the data value, or you can pass the entire array into the function, depending upon what you want to do. All right, so this is how we can pass the entire array into a function. Thank you.